This is Twin City Talk. Today we're talking to Liz May from SoundLizzard Productions. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Liz is my longtime friend and also Tim's as well.
That's right.
Although I've known her longer.
Yes, you have. And she is how you and I met.
Yep. And how Burgess and I met too. So you've kind of made this happen, Liz.
This is all your fault.
No. Yeah, so obviously with SoundLizzard, you do sound, but tell people that don't know about it what you do.
With SoundLizzard Productions?
Yep.
So I started the company kind of informally while I was in college, and it was to allow me to do some like live sound support and a little bit of on-location recording type of things. And it morphed a lot over the years. And there for a little while, we actually launched a record label. We were running a festival, music festival here in town called Tribe Music Festival. And
you think you'll ever bring that back?
No.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. And it was basically an investment because it takes so much money to put that kind of thing on. And if you don't have enough other investors and sponsors, it becomes your investment. Which was, lovely, but it also is just, it took all year to kind of prepare that. So, but yeah, I did that and did a lot of artist management for artists for many years, and kind of then went back to the roots of how it started, which was live sound and recording services. So that's primarily what we do now. I kind of run sound in all the venues across the Triad, pretty much. Occasionally go as far as west as Asheville, as far east as like Chapel Hill and Durham area. But yeah, so that's mostly what I do.
And you teach?
And I do teach.
Where do you teach at?
So I am, as of right now, depending on when this airs,
It'll be August.
Okay. I am finishing up teaching at Guilford Tech Community College. I was teaching recording engineering and music business classes, and will be at Appalachian University in the fall.
Yay.
So, and teaching some of their music industry studies classes.
Is it going to be in person or are they online classes?
It'll be in person. Yep.
Do you have to move there for that?
I am commuting.
Oh, how often will you have to go?
Let you know how that goes.
How often are you going to have to be there?
I don't know the actual answer to that yet, but I know that my fall classes I'm teaching Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So beyond that, I'm not quite sure yet. So
you better start just getting the caffeine IV.
Yeah,
Yes.
that turns my stomach actually, because I hate driving.
It's not really that far, I guess, but
it's about 1:15 from my house. I was driving about 40 minutes already to Guilford Tech. So I used to really hate commuting, but I have learned to embrace it, and it helps when you have great podcasts to listen to.
Plus, once you become a mom, you kind of like that alone time. I feel like it's like your
recharge time. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it could be. It's just the stupid drivers that get in the way of a good commute.
Yes, but it's literally the highway is like in my backyard, basically. I get on the highway and I go 81 miles. And I take a left into campus.
There you go.
And there's like 2 stoplights, I think, between here and there.
As long as there's no accidents, it's pretty smooth.
Yeah, and they don't decide to, do some construction or something.
Oh, God, that's everywhere it feels like now.
Yeah, that's the one highway that's not seemingly going through that right now. So
you better knock on wood. So I know you're from Winston. So what do you love about Winston?
Well, this is why I'm commuting to Boone. So there's a great answer right there. I love Winston. I moved here when I was 2 years old with my family, and so I really not known any other place to live except for a short stint that I did out in Nashville, Tennessee when I was in school there, and I actually moved back here. Really, I will say that growing up here was very different from being an adult here. And I think you and I have talked about that before. Yeah. And so leaving, and you did the same thing, leaving and coming back was a really interesting.
It was a different town almost.
Yeah. And it was like, I feel like our generation kind of did that and like started becoming the entrepreneurs of this city and opening up lots of, their own businesses and stuff. And so that was the part of Winston that it maybe was there and I didn't know it was there, but I felt like Foothills was almost the beginning of that whole push. What was that, 99, I think, Foothills opened?
A long time ago.
Yeah. And so, or 2003, it was like right when we were about to graduate high school, right after.
Oh my God.
I know. I just dated myself too.
Yeah, no, but
Sorry.
You're even younger than me.
I know. But I felt like that was the turning point of like the city, at least for me, from my perspective of it. And so every time I go somewhere, I run into people I've met at different walks of life, and people, come to this town, but not a lot of people leave this town, it seems. It becomes quite the community. And I just did this show on Saturday at NCMA, which is was formerly known as SECA, and it was like a who's who audience. And it was full of people that some of them I hadn't seen in over 10 years. And it was just like hugs all around, catching up with everybody. And it was just like this beautiful community that came together for this one show. And anyhow, so that's what I really love about Winston is just the community, I think, and the arts and the entrepreneurial adventures that I get to watch.
And you went to Salem too, right?
I did go to Salem College. It was an interesting track, but yeah, I started there. I left, kind of put a pin in that for a while, came back and worked there, went to school a little bit while I was working there, then left, and then finished my undergrad, I think about 15 years later. It was quite the journey. But yes, I did do that.
So what do you love about sound production?
Everything. Absolutely everything. I tell people that like I see with my ears. And
that's an awesome way to put that.
Yeah, because I think naturally we're more visual creatures, and I'm somebody that is like, I always tell my students this too, you kind of always have to train yourself to overcome that and to listen before you see. And especially just we're so visually stimulated with everything now. So everything from just acoustics of a room. Like I noticed as soon as Tim was showing me a room back there, and I immediately was like taking note of the acoustics of the space. Like, I just can't help it. So like audio for me, it's a science and it's an art. And so there's a lot of like analyzing that I like to do in my head, and then like troubleshooting, and then the execution, which to me is like the art of it, whether it's mixing post-production for something or something live sound.
What's the most challenging part of it?
Dealing with people. I would say that's probably the same for most, when I say that lovingly, but I think you have to, that's something that's hard to like, you don't learn that in school. You have to learn it by experiencing, working with people. And so no matter what job you're in, I think that's probably the same kind of situation. But especially when you're somebody who's being hired to do something, you want to find ways to have, like how do you learn how to communicate with somebody that maybe you don't know, you've never met, and you're trying to understand, their way of talking, and you're trying to then talk technical, but they don't get the technical. And so, okay, how do I put this into terms that make sense? And how does it look like I'm actually really trying to make this happen and not say, well, we can't make this happen. And I think learning how to communicate with people in general, I think is a skill that you just have to keep practicing on.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So of all the local festivals and events you've covered, are any that really stand out, that memorable or favorite or?
Well, I love the North Carolina Folk Festival. I get to run front of house at their main stage. I've been doing that for several years now, and it's just, it's a festival. It's hot, it's long hours, but I just really love it. I love the music, and
it's in September, right?
It is in September. It's usually right around Labor Day or the week after. So that's definitely one that I really enjoy, and I love working with the Winston-Salem Symphony. They're one of my more recurring client that I do a lot with, and they're just great people to work with, and it's a wonderful challenge. It's always a little bit different enough that I have to like really, put my brain on it. And, but, I end up running 65 channels most of the time, and you're trying to like submix things, and, you've got 40 some condenser mics, on stage in front of speakers. And so that's always a really fun challenge, but it's always just really beautiful music. And since I'm a pianist, and, was classically trained, like it also is like something I enjoy listening to. So those are some of the things I think I really
Speaking
stand out.
of music and playing piano, so a lot of people probably don't know all the instrument. Like, what instruments can you play? I need to know this.
Well, play or play well?
Just play.
So obviously piano is my first instrument. I started playing before I could read or write. And so from there, I kind of built into other directions. I took voice lessons for a while, not to ever become a singer, but so that I could work with vocalists. And the same thing for guitar. I took guitar lessons so I can play a fair bit of, chords and, songs and stuff on guitar. But I did it so that I could actually be a producer and write chord charts. When I sat with artists.
If nothing else, just understand
Oh, yeah.
what's going on.
Absolutely. Well, I would also sometimes have artists come in and they're like, so I'm playing these chords, but I have no idea what I'm playing. And you're just like, wow, okay. And so just being able to help, understand, be able to speak their language. Yep. I took cello most recently.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and I did that for a year until I was more pregnant than I could keep the cello close enough to me. And I haven't really been playing it too much since, but I really liked playing cello, and I was doing it to learn more about the instrument.
It's a pretty instrument.
Martin played cello, so we had a cello laying around the house. So we have a violin at the house. I don't really play it,
You
but
used to do flute too, because
I did play flute. Yeah, we both played
I was gonna
flute.
say, I knew
Yep.
I did. I thought you did too.
I played it all. If you asked me to play it now, it probably would not go very well.
Yeah, I don't even remember how to play it anymore.
But I did play flute through grade school. And then accordion is the other one
Okay,
that
I didn't know
been.
that one.
Yep. So Martin's dad gave us an accordion, and so I pick it up once in a while. I can't really.
Now
that's
I
why
want
I said
you to
play
play
or play
for me.
well, because not really well, but I know enough to like be dangerous, I guess.
I want to hear it now.
I know. I want to take some lessons. I really want, that's my next instrument that I want to be able to be like, yeah, I can really play that. So, yeah. So I dabble.
What's your favorite instrument to listen to, not necessarily play?
Oh, and I play organ. Sorry,
Yeah, I
forgot
know.
about that one. Which is very different from piano, actually.
Yeah.
My favorite music to listen to?
Not like an instrument, like the sound.
Oh. I would honestly actually say the cello. There's something about the cello and the clarinet. I'm going to get real nerdy on you here. The frequencies that those instruments produce, it's so warm, and it just, they talk about frequencies that you kind of resonate with. To me, those are frequencies I resonate with. So there's pitches that they play, and the way that the sound of those instruments make a sound.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so those are I know it's super nerdy, but
No.
yeah.
I like
Yeah.
it.
Well, I mean, you just answered a question, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it was, why do you like it? This is why.
Yeah.
Nerdy or not,
Not
it
that
was
hard.
awesome. It was an awesome answer.
It was a good answer. Yeah, so I keep telling my husband, you need to settle a debate for us. So I'm going to call him out on this podcast. So I have sensitive hearing. So loud noises always hurt my ears, kind of like fireworks. And I always get after him. I'm like, your music's too loud. And he's like, no. I'm like, you can't ever hear me because you play your music too loud. So next time you're around, you need to talk to him about
I'll measure
what
it
is
for
too
you.
loud. Yes, please measure it. Because he thinks this loud music is fun. I'm like, no.
Well, there's some interesting insight into that too, because so my husband also will play music. If I'm in the other room or whatever, he'll turn it up, loud, and then I come in and I get immediately overstimulated, and so there's something that it's not just how loud it is, but sometimes it's also like the way that you process like those things. And since sound is something I'm incredibly sensitive to, and it sounds like you are too, it's like I can't have that. And I hate the last thing that I just absolutely hate when like you have the radio on and you're like yelling over the radio to like be heard, and you're like, why would you not just turn the radio down? Exactly. Like that's your noise floor, you know? And so I get really, I'm very, very particular about like my listening levels and stuff like that.
Like I love fireworks, but like I hate, because like it hurts my ears, like just that loudness.
No, fireworks, I on my keys I keep they're called ear attenuators, so they're not ear plugs.
I need to get those apparently.
But they actually, and I turn all my students on to them because I'm like, you got to protect your
Are they heroes?
They're eargasms actually. Okay. Yeah.
That's funny.
But I get my students to buy them because I'm like, if you are not, even if you are mixing front of house, but if you are not mixing front of house, which most of them aren't right away, there's no reason for you to be exposing yourself to such loud sounds. You're going to shorten your career.
Yeah.
And so I tell them to buy these because they don't actually plug the sound and change the way it sounds to you. They actually just reduce in intensity.
That's cool.
Like 20 decibels, basically. Yeah, and so it does take a tiny bit off the upper frequencies, like the real high frequencies, just because of the natural.
So it's like the opposite of a hearing aid, kind of.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, like attenuates it. And you can actually do the same thing now with your AirPods. Like if you put those in and put them on adaptive mode, it does the same kind of thing, but the difference there is you're dealing with a microphone and a speaker in your ear, so it's not quite as natural.
It drives me crazy having things in my ears, so I don't know how well I do with those.
Well, these aren't... Pull them out for a second. These aren't too bad. And they're great, like... So anytime, like, even with fireworks and stuff like that, I've had to run sound before.
Oh, those are cool.
With, in a fireworks show.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Where was that at?
The country club, actually, for one of my buddies out there. We usually do a July 4th thing, and used to have to play while the fireworks were going off.
Oh, my gosh.
And it was loud. It was loud.
Yeah, so my thing is I wear headphones while we record podcasts for several reasons. One, I need to monitor to make sure everybody's right. But at the same time, I spent so many years in front of loud amplifiers, and I'm a bass player. So those frequencies, I'm kind of messed up. And I mean, hearing wise, I mean, I can hear, but it's really frequency over volume that bothers me. My wife, A, is a mumbler. B, her frequency, her pitch of her voice is low. So she finds it off-putting, but I can't help it. She starts to say something, and before she even gets the sentence out, I'm like, eh. But the thing is, the reason why, I mean, not that I'm loud like that, but the reason why is, why am I going to let her get through a sentence when I know she's going to have to repeat it anyway?
Yeah.
So just go ahead and stop and tell me what it is that you were going to tell me to begin with, and let's save some time and frustration, because I hate repeating myself too.
Me too.
So before you even get going, let's just stop and start over.
Let's emphasize those keywords.
Yes.
So as we get older, obviously our hearing changes depending on how we've been exposed to different things, but also just age also. And one thing a lot of people don't realize is that inside of our ear, we all know we have like an eardrum, but leading to that eardrum is actually this like spiral, which is filled with fluid. And then inside of there are these little hairs that kind of wave around in the fluid. And so as you get older,
It's like seaweed in
I usually explain it like wheat, like a field of wheat in the wind. And so every time a frequency ripples through, that's how it knows what the frequency is, because it depends on where it is that's vibrating, which parts are vibrating. And then that, of course, then tells your brain, oh, that's an A440. And as you get older, those little celias actually start to get stiffer. And so they're not as responsive. And so as you age, you actually hear less of the consonant frequencies and you get more of this round sound. And so it's really like we are so dependent on hearing consonants to know what somebody's saying. Mm-hmm. And so whenever somebody muffles their voice, what was it you're saying, and that's what it happens to older people.
Gotcha.
And what's interesting with the hearing aids now is they can actually tune hearing aids now instead of just amplifying everything, which a lot of times makes it worse. They can actually dial into those specific frequencies and just heighten those to help somebody understand. But what I've found out, my dad has hearing aids, is you actually lose perception of direction though with hearing aids. You never really think about that because you're like, well, you're still got 2 ears. But because it's a microphone and a speaker, and everything perception-wise for us is based off of our brain saying, well, something came from over there because it's quieter on the other side of my head, and it took longer to get to the other side of my head, and your brain puts it back together. It's pretty crazy.
It's kind of like when you look up for the airplane, you don't look at the right place because of the sound.
Yeah, because the sound is so removed from it. So for people with hearing aids, they actually, if they aren't in front of you, they actually have a really hard time making out what you're saying. And it's wild. It's like, but they can hear it. They're just not able to put all those different cues together that your brain usually does. And
I have too good of hearing, so I kind of wish the old age might kick in a little bit for that.
Don't rush it.
Just for that, because man.
Well, and the more trauma that you obviously expose yourself to, that obviously you're going to have more issues as you get older. And audio engineers, that are running live sound, we're exposing ourselves how much more than the average person. Musicians when they're on stage.
What's a certain decibel that is bad for your hearing?
Well, so it's a time-based thing. So the louder the sound, the shorter amount of time you can actually expose yourself to. So us sitting here talking, I'm probably talking, 60, 65 max, decibels. I would say I mix a lot of times around 80, 85 max. You start getting above that and you start, a couple hours before you start actually having, you're not going to be oh, my ears hurt, but you're going to have lasting effects. So and the more times you do it, the more it's going to continually affect your hearing.
So as example, what would a rock concert, what level is that usually at?
Stupid.
Yeah. I mean,
just to get a number so we can compare.
Yeah. So a concert is usually going to go over 100, like a rock concert would.
If they're doing it right.
Yeah. I mean, really.
Yeah.
The other weird thing, too, is the way that we measure decibel level, all of the way we calibrate that, it's based off of frequencies again, because we hear different frequencies louder than other frequencies. So sub frequencies, we can turn those up a lot louder, or mids than we can upper frequencies, because we're actually more sensitive to, and I think it's a survival trait, because consonants fall in the most peaked area of frequencies that we're most sensitive to. So a lot of times when you go to a concert, you're oh, it's too loud. Most of the time it's actually just those frequencies that if they just poke those down a little bit, all of a sudden it's fine. But that's usually what bothers people the most. And audio engineers, that's what goes first as far as you start impacting those frequencies.
The hearing, so my middle daughter has a speech delay, and the first thing they check with little kids is their hearing to make sure they're just not hearing. And all the different hearing tests they have now are pretty cool, how it measures, they don't even need to actually talk. They can actually pick up, they put things on their ears and
they see how they stimulate. Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, when they did my son's, when he was first born, That was crazy. They just put the little cups over his little ears, and like they were just looking for him to like have brain stimulation or whatever. It was wild.
It's pretty cool how far it's come.
Yeah.
All right. So how can people find out about your company, SoundLizzard?
So I'm one of those people that is really bad, and my website is under construction still. But I am on Facebook and Instagram. I don't post a whole lot on either of those, but
well, you have other things to do.
Yeah.
I do. But you can definitely find me and get my contact information through either of those. Particularly the Facebook page is probably the easiest. So.
Well, thank you for coming on, sharing cool facts about hearing.
Oh, and SoundLizzard, by the way, is with 2 Z's.
Yes.
That's our gimmick. So it's SoundLizzard.
Lizard.
Lizard. And can I tell a quick story about that?
Yes, please do it.
So, because people a lot of times ask me, like, how did you come up with the name of your company? And obviously my name is Liz, but it actually comes from when I would be running sound. When I first started running sound, everybody was kind of like calling everybody the sound man or the sound guy. Like we hadn't really gotten to that like gender neutral, territory yet. And I was always like, I'm the sound engineer. Like, what's the big deal? Like, why make a big deal about it? So finally I was like, they were like, what do I call you? Like the sound chick, the sound lady.
Oh my gosh.
And they got all like weird about it. And I was like, fine, you can call me the sound lizard. And so it just kind of stuck.
I can't believe people actually said that to you.
Oh yeah. I love when I get a check and it's written like the sound man. Anyhow, it's a generational thing. It's whatever.
Is it trending more? Like, are there starting to be more women in the field?
Definitely, yeah. Just in my short time at Guilford Tech, I watched actually a lot of females and non-binary. Thank you. I was like, the word wasn't coming. Individuals in our program and across other programs, and so it's great. I feel that I hopefully am doing my part in making it a place that they feel welcome and can thrive. And we talk a lot about being able to see other people that are like you in
fields,
in positions that you aspire, to see yourself in, and so I hope that I am.
You're definitely an inspiration to. Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Liz May, I love you,
Aww.
and I have missed you. We have to do better.
We do
about that, but. I actually like it when you have always been this way, when you nerd out on the sound stuff, because I find I'm in that business, right? So it's my job too. And you are inspirational. And I am so happy that you have a child, but I'm also so happy that you're getting back into the stuff.
The world.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Because naturally you have to put some things on hold to make sure that the little is where it needs to be, and you have to be where you need to be.
Absolutely.
And I have always had a professional crush on you, and you can ask my wife. I've always said that, but I just you are a remarkable person in all ways, and I. am so honored and glad to know you.
Yes.
And and so glad that we reconnected here.
Absolutely. Thank you, Suzy, for pulling me back in.
Back
I mean, it's because of you that we're sitting here.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Well, thank you very much. It's an honor to be here.
Yes. Well, thank you, and everybody look her up on Facebook, especially.
Yep.
Thanks for listening to Twin City Talk. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram. The views and opinions portrayed by guests on this podcast are not necessarily those of the distributors and hosting companies. And if you love this podcast, that's great, but don't think about stealing it. Reach out to us and talk about the content, because it is copyrighted.